Last week, we learned about the victims and discovery of their bodies. Today, we meet the serial killer. In part 2 of our series, we'll discuss the life of Ivan Milat. We'll learn about his large, troubled family, some of his early crimes, and how he came to be the police's #1 suspect. We'll also discuss the raid on his and several other homes, his trial, and the eventual outcome. I'm Mike.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Dave. If you thought our Australian pronunciations were bad last week, stick around. Since we determined the country doesn't even exist, who cares what the penal colony leftovers have to say? This is Necronomipod.
In a desperate attempt to extract the truth.
If there's things that you would like to speak to us about, we'd be happy to listen.
But his silence was as cruel as it was deafening. Police tried another strategy.
Why did it happen to those two lovely girls and the others?
Playing him interviews recorded by a current affair of some of the family of his victims.
You can't fathom what it does to someone.
Police appealing to his conscience.
You've got loved ones. How helpless and frustrated and absolutely destroyed would you be?
But that was met with denials of any wrongdoing.
Ian, you just had your second AMA on Reddit this past week.
Yeah,
How'd that go?
it's pretty fun.
Yeah?
I enjoyed it.
Did you get a lot of participants? A lot of
Yeah.
Redditors?
I got
Good questions.
some good questions.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got one from this account. User abducted alien fuckboy had some good questions for me.
I think it was alien abducted fuckboy.
Oh,
I saw it
okay.
last night, I think.
Yeah, I know. I'm sitting there. The first question got by me, the hand job one with Kanye, and then the second one about
Out of context, people are like, what the fuck? What's going on in these Reddits?
Then the second one about my wife banged Mike in college. Now I can it's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. I'm like, all right. So I text Dave with a screenshot. I'm like, is this you?
I mean, they have good comments. I don't know who it could be, but hats off to you, whoever you are.
I like to at least think that question about the hot dog in a hallway, it was like based on true events. Might have been a fictional question, but it's like those horror movies. It's still based on actual events.
Understood.
There's probably many a husband that have suffered that fate.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Mascusi. But it was good. Good time.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
I
you've
think
done a couple of them now. So
I think we got the subreddit to get up another 100 people or so. I think part of the problem is the Facebook group, the Necronomipod, keeps getting flagged for inappropriate things.
Well, it's a bunch of heathens, obviously.
goddamn, Pallies.
So they're trying to migrate people to Reddit.
Well, it's a lawless community.
Yeah. So no one's getting in trouble.
Okay. So if you're in the Necronomipal, it's Namapals. That's the one.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can keep that account, but get on over on the Reddit too. How do they find that? I know nothing about Reddit.
Reddit.com /r/Necronomipod.
If they just search like Reddit Necronomipod too, would come up.
Yep.
So there you go. I guess we should start mentioning that then at the end when I plug all the socials.
Yeah, it was fun.
Reddit, Necronomipod, whatever, your little reddit.com /r/Necronomipod.
Yeah.
Might even run into alien abducted fuckboy while you're on there perusing the comment section.
Have a little chit chat.
Yeah. Next time it's your guys' turn for an AMA, one of you guys.
Tried Reddit one time, have no idea how that shit works.
I'm going to do an AMN, Ask Me Nothing. It's going to be over before it starts.
But listen as I pontificate various answers on topics I want to discuss. And you just write these long-ass, drawn-out speeches on whatever you want to discuss that day.
Your response starts with who gives a fuck, but let me tell you about this instead.
Let me tell you why Australia isn't real. And the few people that might be living in that area are just leftovers from the penal colony.
I've heard that somewhere before.
And then you can just pontificate.
Ian got us some rough comments on his Australian pronunciations from last week.
Yeah.
Was it the capital of Canberra?
Well, how was it pronounced? What did you guys say?
Canberra.
We said nothing, Pally.
I looked it up. I believe it's Canberra.
Canberra.
Of all the words we've butchered on this show, that one, not so awful. That was fairly close.
I mean, I said it how it's spelled, right?
Yeah, it seems like they just kind of remove the E.
So AMA went well.
Yeah, you know what? There was a comment. Some came in later, like people weren't able to get on while I was on there. There was someone who's a pilot. I don't know if it sounded like commercial pilot, but I don't know. They said that they mass download our episodes and wait, and then when they're flying, like as a pilot, they're going across the country, they just listen to us while they're flying up there.
Damn.
Pretty cool.
Hold her steady, Captain. Hold her steady. Strong crosswinds today.
I'm listening to our ass clown statements while they're actually doing something good with their lives and trying to keep people safe. That's good, though. Good for them.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Much appreciative. Well, let's get back into it. Australia's big claim to fame here with the serial killer world.
Yeah.
So where we left off on part 1, police were at a loss for leads, pretty much. They had spoken to someone named Alex Milat, who had some pretty suspect answers. If we remember, he was real specific about some stuff. But that was about it. Then a guy named Paul Onions saw a news report about a serial killer in Australia, and the details sounded really familiar to him, like pretty close to something that happened to him in the same area, enough for him to contact police.
So he kept his eyes peeled and made the call to the police.
A few years before police announced that there was a serial killer close to the Sydney area, Paul had been staying in a cheap hostel in Sydney and was planning to go hiking in the Belanglo Forest. He was pretty low on money, so on January 25th, 1990, he decided to resort to hitchhiking along the Hume Highway, headed towards the Belanglo Forest.
I believe that's pronounced bunghole, Ian. I looked it up and Googled it. So we could say bunghole going forward.
Sounds about right.
I think he's buying it. He's going to do it.
Eventually, a man with like a Hulk Hogan style mustache, who was pretty muscular, stopped and offered Paul a ride. Paul got in, and the man introduced himself as Bill. As they were driving, Bill started asking Paul a bunch of questions like where he's from, when's he go back where he's from, who knows you're here, what do you do for work? Like, the one that would throw me off is like, who knows you're here?
Pretty creepy.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Hell yeah, brother, Melatomania running wild.
Oh, God. And to be clear, it is a Fu Manchu, is the mustache style.
Is that what that's called? I didn't know if a Fu Manchu had to be long or not.
I don't believe it does. I believe it just the all the way down the chin. Like a goatee minus the chin, chin part.
Years ago, my wife dared me. I was shaving and I shaved one of those, and she said that she dared me I wouldn't go to work and all day in that. You bet your ass I will.
Fu Manchus.
You lose.
Fu Manchus are badass mustaches.
They look very not appealing at all.
You can grow a good thick one. Hell yeah. I once back in college did the handlebars, so it's the beard minus the chin, like Triple H used to have. Oh,
oof,
it's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
Brutal.
The end.
So as their drive continued, this guy who said his name was Bill started getting really angry for no reason, started swearing and yelling and going on these really crazy racist rants. And then
Hogan or Bill?
Bill.
Oh.
Probably Hulk Hogan as well.
No difference. No difference. No difference.
Then he eventually got quiet and just stopped talking altogether. So Paul's kind of like freaking out at this point a little bit. He's like, what the fuck is going on with this guy? Do
you know when, again, just to sidetrack this about wrestling, because of course that's what I do. And that's why I'm so popular on this show. It was a joke. I had one time mentioned that, you know, why I don't like the Ultimate Warrior, and because of shit that I was like, if anyone wants to know, DM us, we'll let them know.
Yeah.
So people probably have no idea what we meant by the Hulk Hogan thing. Have we talked about it on the show, actually?
Got me.
I don't know.
Either way, he made a sex tape one time when was that when he was banging Bubba the Love Sponge's wife?
That's right.
Yeah.
So he was cucking Bubba the Love Sponge, although Bubba knew and was like into it, like a true cuck.
Yeah, right.
And they were recording it, but then like as he's banging Bubba's wife, he's casually talking about his family, like his son and his daughter, and mentions how Brooke was, I think she was dating, and she might even be married to, I don't know, she was seeing a Dallas Cowboy player, I think. And he just went on this racist rant about how he doesn't like it and it's not okay and this and that. And
Ian, redact this part, brother.
It wasn't great.
yeah, so and
That's a dick.
it derailed his career for a few years. He's already now back with WWE after they fired him, and now he's back. He's made amends allegedly, but I think there's a few black wrestlers that are still like, yeah, we're not going to be in the same room with him. We're not going to do anything with him.
Sure.
I think the New Day had a big issue with that. They refused.
Yeah, and I think he's hosting WrestleMania this weekend as this episode drops. Night 1 was last night. Night 2 is tonight. He's co-hosting with Titus O'Neil, who is a black wrestler. So I think that's how that WWE was like, well, we'll balance it.
Yeah.
No, you can't get mad at us. Titus O'Neil agreed to do it with them, so clearly everything's better.
What do you mean it's tonight? It's not live? What do you mean? Didn't you just say it
The
was
day
tonight?
this show drops.
Oh.
Sunday.
I got you.
Yeah. Kayfabe, Dave.
Sorry about that.
We drop these shows live every week.
Like we said, Paul was getting pretty creeped out with this stuff, and he was really feeling like getting in this car was a bad idea. But he noticed that Bill was starting to drive erratically, like going really fast and slowing down and looking out his rearview mirror like he was nervous that someone was following them or something. Then randomly, Bill pulled over and said he was going to get some tapes out of the trunk so they could listen to music.
Probably Men at Work or AC/DC, right?
It's got to be one of the two, right?
So Paul's sitting there and he looks down at the console between the two front seats and he just sees a bunch of tapes sitting there. So he's like, well, this guy's obviously not going to get tapes. So Paul got out of the car too. Bill got really angry, yelled at Paul and told him to get back in the car. But Paul was really scared, so he listened.
Oh, fuck that, Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
Wrong move.
Once they got back in the car, Bill pulled out a gun from under his seat and told Paul he was robbing him. Paul tried to reason with Bill, but Bill told him to shut up and started pulling out some rope. Then Paul just jumped out of the car again, made the right decision, got out of the car and just took off running as Bill was yelling for him to stop or he was going to shoot him.
Lucky, right?
Yeah.
Damn. Almost got him. Or Bill, whoever Bill turns out to be. I'm not sure yet.
I don't know who this Bill guy is. It's a curveball.
I'm not sure how Bill fits into this story. Yeah.
It's either Bill or Hulk Hogan.
Sit still, brother. I'm tying you up.
You know something, Mean Gene.
So Paul ran into oncoming traffic waving for help. And no one was really, a couple cars passed him, didn't stop. And Bill tackled him to the ground and started wrestling with him. Paul was able to get away and stumbled in front of a van that was driven by a woman named Joanne Barry. So Joanne slammed on her brakes, and Paul just opened the sliding door on the side of the van and jumped inside and started yelling, "He's got a gun." And this Joanne woman was driving with her sister and her 4 children. So she freaked out and just took off, just started driving away. And they said, and then Bill just turned around like she was looking through a rearview mirror, and he just turned around and started walking real calmly back to his car like nothing happened.
Do you have the name of Joanne's sister in here? It was Dingle, if you guys are wondering. I read it. So stupid.
I like that I'm back in studio now so I can see when he looks down at his paper for something.
I didn't write that. I just made that up off the top of my head. I don't have that written down. Fuck you, Ian. I love all these stories. They all have that one close call,
Yeah.
That one person who did the right thing or got lucky because of, whatever circumstance or happenstance and gets away. Like that, like the girl in that exhaustive Ted Bundy story we did last week, available on Patreon.
Oh, yeah. Our 19-minute Ted Bundy episode.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I thought it was the best episode we've ever done.
It's pretty good.
Get in, get out, get to sleep, just like me in college. I'm an advocate of all shows, 20 minutes or less. Let's just go.
Yeah.
Let's cut to the chase here.
And we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
So Joanne took Paul to the police so he could file a report. Because her first, according to her first, her initial response was get this guy the fuck out of my car.
Yeah,
like, I don't know what's happening. And then as they were driving, she noticed that something was really off. Like, he was really, really scared. So she took him to the police station. Back in November of 1993, police now had 3 calls that they were taking very seriously. A woman who said her boyfriend worked with a guy named Ivan Milat, who drove a 4-wheel drive truck, was really weird, and lived near the forest. Joanne Barry called and told the police about her story when Paul jumped in her car near the forest. And now Paul Onions called and told police the same story that Joanne had told. Even though Ivan Milat's name had popped up and police wanted to pursue him further, they had about 2,000 people that they were interested in speaking with. On November 17th, 1993, the search of the forest was complete and they didn't find any more bodies.
So he was pretty high on their list, but it's just that it takes a while to work through them with 2,000 people, right? That should put you to the top of the list.
Yeah.
Or at least one of the ones. I'm sure they had a few names that came up for different things with 2,000 people, but
he should have been fairly close to the top.
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
To handle the amount of information, the police created a task force to log every credible lead, which was basically just a ton of data entry into a computer system that wasn't great, back in the 90s. That's
probably Commodore 64. Yeah. Sounds like this when you log in.
Well, does your guys' internet not do that?
It's like when I'd be on like AOL Instant Messenger back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And my mom would just like pick up the phone and start button mashing it to get me off. I'm like, why are you doing this to me? I'm trying to...
I'm in the best, man. Leave me alone.
Back when no one had the second phone line yet, it was all just that.
Oh, jeez.
Like, I'm trying to put passive aggressive away messages on my AOL Instant Messenger for girls. Quit fucking kicking me
some
off.
Dashboard lyrics put up in there.
Oh, that's funny.
So as they were, they had these 3 calls, but as they were putting the data into the system, those calls stood out again. And again, the name Ivan Milat popped up. Paul and Joanne's separate calls about what happened back in 1990 with the attempted kidnapping, because as soon as they saw that when entering the data, they're like, okay, this is the exact same story from 2 different people.
Yeah.
One is a Australian native, Joanne, and Paul Onions is from somewhere in the UK. So they don't have no connection with each other. Police started digging into Ivan Milat's background. So Ivan was born on December 27, 1944, to a Croatian immigrant named Stjepan Marko Milat and an Australian, Margaret Piddleston, who she married him when she was 16 years old.
How old was he?
Like more than double her age.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Milat was the 5th of their 14 children, and they had 10 boys.
God damn it.
My God, can you imagine?
No. 14 children.
Yeah, that's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Must have been Catholic, right?
Either that or they had that Blue Chew going. I lied. I'm still on the Blue Chew train. I'm just waiting.
You know what I was thinking about? So I don't know what age she was when she started having kids, but to have 14 kids, I feel like that's like a good chunk of your life you just spent pregnant.
Even if you started at 16, you're popping them out.
So you're 30 something, 30, 31?
Yeah. Oh. I mean, at least, maybe every year, 18 months, maybe 2 years between a couple of them.
It's brutal. Not great.
You just spent, a good chunk of your life just being pregnant. I mean, hey, if that's what you want, that's what you want. But
yeah,
come on. Holy cow.
It's too much, Mike. It's too much.
It's too much for me. I don't think I'd want 14 kids.
No.
And 10 boys.
It's a lot.
Whew. The aggressiveness in that house.
Yeah, look where we're at.
As far as abuse went, it's nothing like any other serial killers we talked about. From what I read, it was just kind of your standard for the time, getting your ass smacked if you did something. Like, it wasn't crazy
excessive.
Abusive. Yeah. All 10 of the Milat boys were well known to local police, like straight up heathens that were always breaking the law, not just fucking around breaking some windows and stuff. They were stealing cars, doing all kind of shit. By 17, Ivan was in a juvenile detention for theft. And at 19, he was involved in a break-in to a retail store. In 1964, he was sentenced to 18 months for a breaking and entering. And a month after his release, he was arrested for driving a stolen car and sentenced to 2 years hard labor. Then in September of 1967, at 22, he was sentenced to 3 years for theft. I like how they give hard labor over there.
What is that? Like breaking up rocks on a chain gang kind of thing?
That's what I think.
Oh, awful. Straight up crime family, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess when you're from the penal colony, like everyone's from a crime family somewhere, right? If you trace far back enough.
It all traces back.
When they were going through Ivan's record, there was something that really stood out to police. In 1971, Ivan Milat picked up 2 women who were hitchhiking from Liverpool to Melbourne, and he raped one of them. Both of these women testified that Milat had a large knife with rope to tie them up. Milat was acquitted of this crime based on his lawyer saying that the 2 women were lesbians and in a relationship with each other, so it didn't make sense for Milat to rape one of them. I don't even remotely understand how a judge went for this, but Milat was acquitted based on that.
I'm not sure I understand what that means at all. But okay. Australia.
Yeah. Just try to wrap your head around that.
Now that's crazy. That's a bad one.
It doesn't, like, I was trying to think about it more like today when I was reading it. I'm like, so you can't rape someone based on their sexual preferences? Like, it's not possible to do that?
According to this judge.
Yeah, and the judge.
According to this judge.
But yeah.
Good day, mate. Makes sense to me. Acquitted.
I mean, in all fairness, America's not known as having the greatest common sense of all time either.
Of course not. No.
Take a little heat for that one.
Yeah, remember that guy, that swimmer a couple years ago that got a slap on the wrist?
Oh, yeah.
The one, the college dude that raped those girls, a girl or multiple?
I think one girl, but I think he had a history of doing fucked up shit.
Yeah. I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking
That
about.
judge just gave him a slap on the wrist. Like,
Yep.
Yeah. I want to ruin his life,
He
right?
said, yeah, that's what he said, didn't he? The judge
think
said,
so,
yeah,
yeah.
don't want to ruin his life.
You know.
Yeah. Forget the girl.
Her name was out. She went under an alias. I don't know if she ever came out with her name.
No, I don't remember it anyways, but
Yeah, we're not great either in that department.
Nope.
Police requested a phone tap of Ivan Milat's house, but the laws over in Australia are a lot stricter for that kind of stuff, so they had to build a pretty significant case to monitor his phone line. Police began building a case based on statements from people who knew Milat and set up a surveillance to watch him, get a feel for his day-to-day. They also brought back Dr. Rod Milton, who we talked about in part 1, who did the profile, as well as a guy named Dr. Richard Basham, to look at evidence as it was collected and any previous leads regarding Ivan Milat. The doctors looked at all the information, and one thing stood out to them, and it was the statement from Ivan's brother, Alex. This led Dr. Milton back to his original theory that there could be 2 killers involved, and there was a good chance that they could be brothers. So police started to focus not just on Ivan, but his brothers as well.
Seems like a good course of action at this point, I guess.
Yeah, and if you remember that, like that first crime, the one woman was killed pretty quickly, seemed like execution style killed, and the other one was just brutally killed. It doesn't seem like the same person would have done it like that.
Yeah.
Well, and there's 174 of these Milat brothers. So
That's true.
odds are likely there's more than one involved.
Into 1994, police were still gathering evidence. They found 3 of the Milat brothers together owned a small property about 25 miles away from the forest. They found that Ivan Milat had previously owned a silver 4-wheel drive truck that was sold right after the bodies of the first 2 victims were found. The new owner hadn't really cleaned out the truck at all, and police found a .22 caliber bullet underneath the front seat that matched up with a box of 22 bullets they found at one of the crime scenes.
Imagine selling your car to someone and just leaving bullets under the seat. Jeez. Whoever this is very sloppy, I must say.
Well, yeah, you're fucking chasing a guy down a highway as he's jumping in front of cars.
Yeah.
He wasn't obviously doing a good job of disguising himself. Although you can never trust anything from The Onion, right?
That's true.
At this point, besides taking the initial call from Paul Onions and adding it to the case file and a couple people coming across it, no one had really followed up with him to get an official statement. So when the head of the task force found out about this, he was really fucking pissed off and got a hold of Paul for a statement. Paul confirmed that the silver truck that was owned by Ivan Milat was the same one that he got in back in 1990 when that whole incident took place on the side of the road with a guy named Bill. They also had Paul look at a lineup of 13 people, and he positively identified Ivan Milat.
Not looking good. Things are stacking up here.
It would appear so, Dave.
Seems to be leading in a certain direction.
I'm starting to think this Bill guy
Might not have existed.
might not have actually been named Bill. Brother.
With this, police were able to get a search warrant as well as an arrest warrant for Ivan Milat to bring him in for questioning. They also got warrants to search the homes of Ivan's mother and his brothers, Alex, Richard, and Bill. On May 22nd, 1994, police organized a raid of Ivan Milat's home to arrest him, but they were really cautious on approaching. Multiple people during the interviews told them that Ivan had a very large collection of guns, like kind of pushing a stockpile of guns.
If this was the United States, we'd just send in the military, right?
Like Waco style.
Hey.
Well, I was going to say, these guys probably just saw Waco, was it 2 years beforehand? They're like, yeah, we don't want to do that over here.
No, we don't want any parts of that. Once in place, police called the house and a male answered the phone, telling them that Ivan wasn't home. They told this guy on the phone that they had a search warrant, and the person just hung up the phone. The second time they called, they asked, why didn't you come out? And they figured out that this was Ivan, and he said that he thought it was a joke.
Quit fucking around, mate.
A little while later, Ivan came out with his girlfriend, Chandler Hughes, and they were both taken into custody. Ivan was told his rights, and he was also told that he was going to be questioned in relation to the 7 bodies that had been found in the Belanglo forest. In response, Ivan Milat said, "I don't know what you're talking about." And with that, police began to search Ivan's home, as well as the homes of his mom and his 3 brothers. They did this all at the same time, basically, so no one would get tipped off and try to hide or destroy evidence.
Well, that's smart.
Oh, yeah. Dealing with a crime family, you got to take measures.
Get them all at once. Get them all at once.
When he told him his rights, was one of his rights to get a Foster's in his prison cell once a day? Just curious.
It should be, right? You're entitled to 1 Foster's a day.
Yeah.
It comes like with your lunch tray.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
You think it's one of those big barrel cans? Is that how they do it?
I hope so.
Yeah.
That's the one that's like the really weird ounce, right? Like it's some off number of ounces.
It's like something 0.5, I think.
30, is that 30 something, right?
Is that what it is?
30 something ounces.
Something weird.
Yeah. They love it over there. I can't drink it. It's not so good.
They can't stop talking about it.
I don't know why they love it so much.
It's not that great.
It's literally their word for beer, right?
I've heard that somewhere.
Okay. Well, you do you, people.
We'll be right back.
The first item they found in Ivan's house was a postcard. He was asked who it was from, and he said it was a friend of his in New Zealand. It began with the words, "Hi, Bill." Ivan was asked if he was also known as Bill, and he said, no, it must have been a mistake.
This Bill thing's interesting.
When a bullet was found in one of the bedrooms, police asked Ivan if he owned any guns, to which he said that he didn't. When asked about the bullet, he said it was left from when he went shooting with his brother. In the second bedroom, 2 sleeping bags were found in a wardrobe, which were later identified as belonging to Simone Schmidl and Deborah Everest. If we remember, those are 2 of the victims that were found from last week.
seems pretty conclusive now.
Yeah.
To me, I don't know.
Starting to think there might be a case here.
In one of the other bedrooms, a bag was found containing several personal items, which ended up being the bag that Ivan took to work. In this bag was a Bowie-style 12-inch knife, and in the same bedroom was an owner's manual for a Ruger 22 caliber rifle, which was used in most of the crimes from last week. And when this was presented to Ivan, he refused to answer anything about the manual being found. There was a photo album that contained a photograph of Ivan on a Harley-Davidson motorcycle with a holster. And in that holster was a gun that looked a lot like a Colt 45 handgun. And it's the same type of gun that Paul Onions described. A box of .45 ammunition was later found in Ivan's bedroom. There was one other framed photograph that showed his girlfriend Shallender wearing a striped shirt. And that striped shirt was identical to a shirt that Carolyn Clark owned, who was a victim from last week.
Gross.
Yeah, that's really odd.
Yeah, really odd.
Pretty fucked up.
Unless she didn't know and he gave it to her as a gift. Like, Gary Ridgway would do that. He would give his wife jewelry and stuff from
I
his
remember
victims.
that.
Yeah. He'd give it to her as presents. Like, oh, yeah, I bought you this.
All right, I could see the jewelry, but a shirt like that?
Even still, all of it.
Man, it's dark.
On a rack of shelving in the garage, police found a nylon sleeping bag cover with a tent inside. Wrapped around the tent was a purple headband identical to the one found on Simone Schmidl's skull. Also in the bag was a homemade silencer. When they because they had Ivan Milat at the house for all this stuff, and they were just walking him around to each place they found stuff, and they're like, so what's this all about?
He's just like, I've never seen that before. I don't know what that is. Whose house is this?
I'm Bill. Why do you keep calling me Ivan? Do you think in Australia, Bill is just the nickname for Ivan? That's what I'm going to start telling myself. I think I like that.
Yeah.
Could be William to Bill. It's just Ivan. Oh, no, it's just Bill. I'm going to make that a thing.
So they took him inside the garage and they asked him about that bag, and he said that he had never seen it before.
What?
What is my bag? Who left this here?
The ceiling of the garage had a door which went into an attic. Nothing was found until they removed the insulation, and inside one of the walls was a plastic bag that contained gun parts for a Ruger 22 rifle.
This guy literally kept every piece of imaginable evidence.
Yeah.
That is,
No favors. Did himself no favors.
no.
Fuck, if this was John Wayne Gacy, that attic would have just been bodies, right? Cement
Well,
paved
that's
over
true.
them all or poured over it all. And
So at this point, they took him from the house into the police station where he was questioned. They recorded the entire interview both on video and audio tape, and the whole time Ivan was uncooperative. He wouldn't answer anything. They only interviewed him for about an hour, and Ivan was charged with the robbery and attempted murder of Paul Onions. Back at his house, they continued to search. They found electrical tape, cable ties, and a bag of yellow and blue ropes that were similar to ones found at the crime scenes. After they did a more thorough search inside a bedroom wardrobe, they found another part of a Ruger rifle that was found hidden inside a leather work boot. More camping and cooking equipment was found in the kitchen, which belonged to Simone Schmidl.
My goodness.
As police progressed, more items were found. A camera, which was Carolyn Clark's, and a water bottle, which had a scratched area on it like it had been erased. And later, under UV light analysis, the name Simi could be clearly seen, which is for Simone Schmidl.
Boy, this guy left nothing.
And it's all...
Like weird stuff.
Yeah, like why would you want to keep all this camping
A
stuff?
shirt, yeah, tent.
it's very odd.
At the other locations, they found more evidence at the brothers' houses. At his mother's house, they found tons of guns, ammunition. Nearly all the camping gear belonging to victims was found in the raids. Like between the three brothers' houses and his mother, they were pretty much able to piece together every bit of evidence.
No kidding.
In the house of his mother, police found a long curved cavalry sword, which was proved to be the sword that beheaded Anja Habstead, which she was the last victim found.
At this point, are we thinking the mom, the girlfriend, anyone's aware of it?
Maybe not the mom. I don't know. The way that they kind of seem in my head is like they probably all just told their mom to shut the fuck up. That's what they kind of seem like to me. Is she just sat back quietly while they all just did whatever they wanted? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
What about the girlfriend?
I'd say it's probably like a 50-50. Okay. Maybe a little more than 50-50.
Who was the wife we always talk about? Was it Jerry Brudo's wife?
Yeah.
That was just completely ignorant to the fact that there was bodies hanging in her garage.
Like the nipple mounted
the nipple
on the fireplace or whatever it was.
Yeah, he told her it was a paperweight. She's
That's
like,
right, paperweight.
all right.
Willful blindness, right?
I guess so.
That John Wayne Gacy's wife, he had bodies in the garage at times. He just told her like she wasn't allowed out there. That was his room. There's another case we'll get into later with a locked room that the guy's wife wasn't allowed in. That should be like red flag number one.
Right.
If there's a room in your house that you're not allowed in,
Yeah, it's locked. Might have a slight decay smell coming from it. Maybe go ahead and check that one out.
Police also ran ballistic evidence on the fired bullet cases from the crime scenes, and several of the bullets found at Ivan's house matched the Ruger 22 rifle that was found at his home. So Ivan Milat was charged with the murders of the 7 backpackers and was set to stand trial. At a bail hearing several weeks later, Ivan dismissed his lawyer after being advised by his counsel to plead guilty. Incidentally, this was the same lawyer that won him an acquittal back in that 1971 rape trial.
Maybe you should stick with that guy.
Yeah, somehow that guy pulled off some
worked
crazy
last
shit.
time.
His trial started on March 26, 1996, and it lasted 15 weeks due to all the evidence that needed to be presented. In closing arguments, the prosecution told the jury how Ivan Milat was just completely arrogant and believing that he would just keep getting away with this stuff. He, got away with the attack on Paul Onions and the abduction and murder of 7 people. He got away with that rape back in 1971. And they said it was his arrogance that just led to him holding on to all the property belonging to his victims. He just felt like he was never going to get caught. The closing statements from the prosecution lasted for 3 days as they laid out everything that, every bit of evidence that showed that Ivan Milat was the killer, and nothing that was really explained by the defense. They really had no answers for any, how do you come up with an answer for that?
Yeah, when
stuff?
it's in your house, it's kind of tough to explain away. Someone put it there. I don't know.
What are you going to do?
That's about all you got.
The defense closed with telling the jury that obviously someone in the Milat family was responsible for the murders because the shit was there. There's no way to deny that. But it wasn't Ivan. He tried to explain away the evidence as a conspiracy against Ivan by his own brothers. He narrowed this down to suggesting that Ivan's brother Richard made comments about the murders to friends at work and may have been in the position to commit all 8 crimes. Didn't say it was him for sure, just may have been. Yeah. But it was proven that Richard was at work at the times of the crimes, and his lawyer ended with the statement, quote, Ivan Milat had been set up.
I guess it's possible. I don't know. Seems unlikely, though.
Seems more likely that Ivan and Richard and maybe another brother were just all in on it.
Yeah.
I think that's very possible.
After 3 days, the jury hadn't reached a verdict, so the Milat family made plans for a celebration dinner because they thought for sure Ivan was going to be found innocent.
Wow.
That is crazy.
Then on Saturday, July 27th, 1995, Ivan Milat was found guilty of each of the 8 charges.
What did they do with all that food they cooked for the celebration party?
Right?
That's a great
Dinner.
question.
God damn. They probably had kegs upon kegs of Foster's.
It's all the shrimp on the Barbie, too, right?
All of it. What do they do? You throw it away, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's making me hungry just thinking about all that extra shrimp.
I skipped dinner tonight, too. So
The court asked Ivan if he had anything to say, and he replied, quote, I'm not guilty of it. That's all I have to say.
going down with the ship, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. During sentencing, Ivan got 6 years for the attack on Paul Onions and a life sentence for each of the 7 murders.
Wow.
No death penalty in Australia, Mike, in legal brothels. Maybe you should consider moving there.
You know, they might have gotten that one right. If only they really existed and I could move there. I think I might look into that. Well, kudos to Australia for that.
See? We love Australia here. Here at the Necronomicon
I really
show.
am. I really am a big fan. I would love to go to Australia one
I would
day.
too.
I think
Yeah.
that'd be fantastic. Looks
That'd
like a
be cool.
gorgeous continent.
Just keep those big fucking spiders away from me.
Well, keep all of your just big animals away. Like I don't need fucking Nate Diaz kangaroo coming and knocking my ass out. And did you know that actual kangaroo Ian had passed away?
Really?
Yeah, somebody sent it to me and said that he passed away a few years ago.
I heard from
Not though after breeding. So there's some other fucking little Nate Diaz kangaroos in training out there that are gonna fucking murder that country, take it over. And I would be like, yeah, that's about right.
I heard from some listeners, and it almost seems like it depends on what part of Australia you live in. I heard from a couple of our Australian listeners that I was about to say raccoons. Kangaroos are pretty rare. Like they don't see them all the time. Then I heard from a couple others that it's like deer for us. Like they just see them.
I mean, I guess,
right.
yeah. You're probably not going to see kangaroo jumping down the streets in the big cities, you know, just like you're not going to see many deer in New York City, but you get out, you know, in the suburbs a little bit and they're going to be fucking all over.
Somebody this week sent me a picture of a dead kangaroo that they saw.
Aw.
Fairly commonplace, I guess.
Like got hit by a car, you mean? Or
Yeah, something. I don't know.
are they getting like poached? Like, are they hunted?
I don't know. I think you can go kangaroo
I dare
hunting,
someone
right?
to go hunt a kangaroo with your bare hands. Record it and let's see what the fuck happens.
I'm pretty sure like a large kangaroo could probably fucking kill you, right? Like it could fuck you up pretty good.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I go back to that one photo.
Yeah,
I am not getting anywhere close to that fucking kid who's bowing up like in that picture.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah.
I'm not touching that thing.
good there.
Yeah. But yeah, so I really do like Australia. I would love to go there one day.
Yeah, it would be fun.
Maybe we'll just pull a fast one on everybody. First live show, just be in Australia.
Be great. Maybe we can have it in Canberra.
I'd like to have a can of beer with me when I went there.
God.
None of that Foster shit. It's Bush Light for this guy.
Push the light.
Oof.
In the real tree pack. The real tree 30 pack.
Like the is that like the hunting
the camo.
the camo with like the bright orange bush on it. Jesus Christ. Be more fucking hillbilly, Bush. Be more hillbilly. No, I bought Bush Light in college occasionally to have it. Back then it was just scraping pennies together. One time in recent years I bought a case of Bush because one like pack was going to have like a winning ticket to a Daytona 500. And I was like, well, fuck, I got to try. It is some
Like
of the
the-
most disgusting beer I've ever
God,
had.
yeah.
Like Natty Light is better than Bush, I think. Neither are great, but at least give me Natty Light because I feel like I'm just taking like beer flavored water. Bush Light just tastes like you kept a good, not even a good, you took like a Miller High Life and left it in the sun for 4 days.
So that Bush thing was like the trashy version of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Your ticket to NASCAR.
I want to get that beer. I'm like, I got a golden ticket. Yeah, no. And I had to fucking lose and then choke down 24 Bush or Bush Light. I can't remember if it was Bush or Bush Light.
I would have poured it out and just looked at it like a lottery ticket purchase.
I would
an
never.
alcohol purchase.
I would never do that. Ever. That case of Bush was the worst $4.99 I've ever spent.
So they transferred Ivan to a maximum security prison in Maitland, southwest of Sydney. After going through the processing shower and given his bedding, Ivan was waiting for a cell when he was brutally beaten by another inmate. Like this guy was a lot bigger than Ivan and fucked him up real bad. Just beat his ass on the first day.
Ivan was a pretty jacked up dude, right? But was he like big? Like was he just like 6 foot tall? Was he like 6'5"? Do we even know? Or
I don't know. It just said a guy that was a lot bigger than him just beat his ass before he even got to his cell.
That'll happen, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you're, right? Isn't that the thing? When you're like a high profile person.
Yeah, take you down.
Well, you always usually hear it with like pedophiles, right? Like they're the ones that are always targeted by other criminals.
That's what they say, yeah.
But I don't know.
Usually
this one was still pretty brutal.
Yeah. Usually like a high profile person. I feel like that's a thing. When they come in, somebody tries to fuck them up and make a name for themselves.
Well, what the fuck? What was the one that I didn't know? You guys mocked me. Oh, Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, he was killed in prison, high profile.
Yeah.
You know, so it's if you got a name and there's a media story, because then, I mean, I don't know. If you're in prison,
what else are you
you're
gonna
probably
fucking
there
do,
for
right?
life. Let's get my name back in the media. Maybe I'll get a book deal out of this or something. Or you see it as like your way of like getting back in good graces. Like, oh, I know I'm bad, but this guy's worse. I'll take him out. Now I could feel better. Like I did something. I don't know.
That's an interesting way to look at it, sure.
Several months later, he attempted to escape. And this escape was masterminded by a guy named George Savas, who was a former city councilman who was serving time for drug trafficking.
See, they're all fucking criminals.
Even the chief of police that like just gotten out, he done 10 years for something. Now he's chief of police.
Like the police in Australia are the people that have done lesser crimes than the general population.
I was going to say, it's just a matter of how little crime you committed. Not have you, but how little did you do?
These two were quickly caught, and no additional charges were brought onto Ivan, but Savas got more time, and he ended up hanging himself in his cell.
So I see on your interview here, you only have 4 misdemeanors and 1 felony. Congrats, you're a copper now. There's a lot of foam in that poor Mike.
That's terrible.
What do you guys want me to do about it?
Whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
And more foam.
Yeah, I feel like Stone Cold would be disappointed in that
I'd be
pour.
real disappointed. Did you ever see the video? God, there's a lot of wrestling talk on this one. I don't give a shit. No one's going to message me personally. The video where it shows like Stone Cold tossing a beer to Jericho and Jericho misses it, and it's like, and the caption's like, when your father looks at you with that disappointing face.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite ones.
So media went to members of Ivan's family for interviews. Some of them refused. Others demanded money. They wanted paid for him. Richard Milat, the press asked him if he feared that he would be arrested in relation to the murders. And he replied, quote, "Not really. If they wanted me, they have me by now."
Jesus, what the fuck does that mean?
Right?
I mean, I
guess they don't know I'm involved.
When you've been arrested so many times, or, you know, like you're just like, oh, they would have gotten me. Imagine that mindset, though. Like, you're just so confident.
It's like, I guess I got away with it. They would have picked me up by now.
His mom, she was shocked by the sentence. She thought for sure he was innocent, but she told reporters, quote, "If he did these crimes, then he deserves to be punished." So at least she's got it good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Some other reporters tracked down Ivan's brother, Boris, to an undisclosed location where he was supposedly hiding from his family. When asked if he thought that Ivan was innocent, he answered, quote, "All my brothers are capable of extreme violence, given the right time and place individually. The things I can tell you are much worse than what Ivan's meant to have done. Everywhere he's worked, people have disappeared. I know where he's been."
God damn, pal.
The fact that he's in hiding from his own fucking family.
Yeah, right.
Boris himself asked the reporters if they thought Ivan was guilty, and they said, yeah. And then he said, quote, "If Ivan's done these murders, I reckon he's done a hell of a lot more, probably about 28.
It's a very specific number.
It is very specific.
Well, wasn't it actually 8 was the number?
Okay. Yeah,
So
he
he's just adding 20 to it.
That's true. Well, he did
That's how
7. He did 7 murders.
7, I guess, but 8 crimes with the onions one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. That's just weird. There's definitely more to this story.
I watched the 60 Minutes Australia piece on Interview with Boris, which number one was weird because I thought there was only 30 minutes of it in an hour in Australia. And I was surprised to see it's still called 60 Minutes over there. So I don't know. But he absolutely thinks he's guilty, and he was relieved that he was dead. So He's like,
Well,
the
spoiler alert, Dave.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay. Guess I should have read the last 3 paragraphs of this thing. I'm kidding. I knew.
Sorry about that.
I'm kidding. I knew.
But yeah, he said the whole rest of the family still supports him to this day and would welcome him home with open arms. He's the only one in the family that believes he did it. Yeah?
And that's probably why Boris is hiding, because all of those brothers would murder Boris.
Boris is on the outs with the family.
There's always one in those families that seems to come out okay in all these stories.
There's got to be at least. I mean, you would think there's always just somebody that's going to get through. And
he seems genuine. He was openly crying during the interview and stuff. So I don't know.
Not in hiding anymore, I guess, Boris.
Mm-hmm.
Ivan was moved to solitary confinement after prison officers found a hacksaw blade hidden in his cell. And he just straight up told them that he would try to escape at every opportunity he was given. So they just threw him in solitary confinement.
Yikes.
No one wants to fucking deal with that guy, you know?
On January 26, 2009, Ivan cut off his little finger, like his pinky finger, with a plastic knife, which I feel like that's really fucking hard to do.
Ouch.
Have you ever tried using a plastic knife like on a piece of steak? It breaks instantly. How the fuck is this guy cutting through a bone?
That's going to take a long time.
Yeah.
You're better off putting your finger in a door and shutting it on it a couple times first to loosen it up.
Right?
Yeah, something. Fucking plastic knife? How is that? I don't even understand how that it works.
I don't know. Like every time I try to use plastic utensils, I end up snapping.
Yeah. And then you got to worry about each bite. You take shards of plastic getting in your mouth.
Yeah.
It's an ordeal.
Well, his idea with this was that he was going to mail his finger to the High Court of Australia to force them into giving him an appeal.
Are they in Canberra?
Yeah, they basically told him to fuck himself. Like they didn't even acknowledge this.
Get fucked, Yvonne.
I was going to say the exact quote was "Get fucked, asshole."
He was taken to the hospital under high security and was returned to prison the next day after doctors decided that surgery wasn't possible.
Then they called him Old Ivan Nine Fingers after that.
In 2011, Ivan went on a hunger strike because he wanted a PlayStation 2 in his solitary cell. Prison officers, again, basically told him to go fuck himself. If he didn't want to eat over getting a PlayStation, have fun. Starve to death if you want. And spoiler alert, he ended his hunger strike after I think it was 5 or 6 days, and he never got a PlayStation. So,
Yeah.
Good luck beating Twisted Metal 2 with only 9 fingers, asshole. Twisted Metal is probably my all-time favorite video game.
Yeah.
good game.
I used to
Yeah, it's
love some Twisted Metal.
My hunger strike would last like 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't give in and give him a PlayStation.
Well, he had to get that Foster's, right? His lunchtime Foster's.
Well, that's his right.
Yeah, that's true. They have to. Well, they'll give him, but if it's a strike, he'll just refuse it.
Well, it's his
But
responsibility.
you're still going to be hungry. You're just drinking.
It's true.
It's a drink.
It's nourishment, though. It's hops and barley and all kinds of good stuff.
I'm just saying, if I'm going on a hunger strike, I'm still drinking. That's just me.
Well, plus, I think it's a misdemeanor for someone not to drink a Foster's during the day.
No, you got to have at least one.
Yeah, you got to have at least one. It's not only a right, it's a responsibility. He didn't want to get an additional sentence tacked on his 6 life sentences. So he got to at least drink his Foster's.
How many misdemeanors a day do you think the average Australian picks up? We're really shitting on now, and we shouldn't be. We have so much fun at their expense.
I feel like they look forward to us covering their topics, and this is what we do.
And then this is what we do. We fucking barely cover it, and we just shit on them as a people.
I just picture them just sitting in their room, sitting in their house, shaking their heads right now. They have houses or they live in tents over there? They have houses, right?
Goddamn. They have houses, Dave. They're built out of aluminum. Foster's aluminum cans. So they got that's why they're big round cans. They put them together and they cover more space.
Okay,
and
that makes sense.
Then you can like open it and string them out, and that's like a roof. I mean, I don't know what they do over there. It's a foreign country to me.
So in May 2019, Ivan was diagnosed with terminal throat cancer. On October 27th, 2019, Ivan Milat died from throat cancer and stomach cancer because it spread, and he was 74 years old. He still claimed his innocence and blamed his brothers for the murders, and he never gave family members closure. I was watching some news reporting from that, and there was a good bit of family members that wanted him to just admit it. Tell us exactly what happened. We want to know. But he refused and died with all that information.
I watched some of those interviews the cops had with him when they were pressing him on it in the days when he was, close to his deathbed. And he's just like, nope, wasn't me.
Yeah. Which is odd. Usually serial killers want that notoriety and even to make up shit to get under people's skin or make themselves seem more than they are. But
Well, so let's wrap that up then and get into that. What do we think?
I think his brothers were definitely involved, at least one of them.
Do you think his brothers were the ones running the show and then just made him he may have been a part of it, but then he took the fall for it, and they're the ones storing all this shit at his house, making it so obvious that it's him? I kind of almost lean towards that. Like, I think he might have been a part of it.
They even had some at their house too, though. At Ma's house.
But then they all agreed, okay, he's the fall guy. Let's put everything on him. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, they had the property that was 25 miles away from the forest.
Yeah.
And you brought up last week, Dave, like it seemed like the two bodies still smelled, like if they were held somewhere.
Right. So
I think that's
after like 5 or 6 months, they wouldn't have.
Yeah. I think that's a huge possibility that they held people at that property. Because then it was proven too that one of the guys that was murdered wasn't murdered at the scene. So
I think it's highly likely.
I think at least the 3 that own that property were probably involved.
Yeah.
I think it was probably Richard, Alex, and Ivan.
Any word of what happened with Richard and Alex since? Have they passed away? Do we know what even came about them?
I'm not sure.
Obviously racking up misdemeanors, I'm sure, but
I saw an interview with Richard just when I was YouTubing around and stuff. He didn't look very old, so, it might not have been very recent, but he maintained Ivan's innocence also. I think there's also a lot of widespread speculation that there's a lot more bodies possible too somewhere.
Yeah, I would assume that's not 7 is not.
Well, like Boris said, maybe just 28 more or 28 altogether.
Yeah, I don't think there'd be any reason Boris would lie. It's a pretty strong thing where he said my brothers are all capable of extreme violence.
Well, and clearly he got the fuck out of Dodge and was like, this is not something I'm going to be a part of.
And I guess they opened a bunch of, missing persons and murders cases after this. And there was one where a bunch of women in the 70s were killed with a 22. And like he was working in the area at that time. So they were looking at him real hard on those. It was probably him. I mean, of course it was, right?
You would think, yeah. It seemed to be his gun of choice.
Mm-hmm. You think it sucks then if you're like one of the family of those victims from the 70s where it's like you're pretty sure you know who did it, but then you just never actually know and you never get that justice? That's got to be brutal.
Yeah. I think I would be like one of the family members at the end of Ivan saying I would want to know exactly what happened. Mm-hmm. And the fact that even though he got a life sentence and all that stuff, the fact that he just wouldn't admit it till he died, it would really get under my skin.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's just like an arrogance thing. Yeah.
That's just one more added cruelty there.
Yeah.
Even Ted Bundy admitted everything before he was sentenced to death.
Well documented on our Patreon show.
Exhaustive is the word I like to use.
It was an exhaustive series, probably the most we've ever done. It's well done.
A lot of hard work put into that one.
Mm-hmm. Well done episode. All right. Well, we got anything else on Ivan Milat?
No, it was interesting.
Highly requested topic by our Australian listeners, and then we just took the chance for 2 weeks to shit on them, and so we did that. We're gonna fucking go
tongue in cheek, man, tongue in cheek.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about him really.
No, other than the Wolf Creek thing, I didn't either.
Yeah, I actually watched that again the other night.
So good.
Yeah,
it's terrifying.
All right, we got some patron shout outs. Thank you very much to Molly Whitman, Daniel German, Jennifer Howell, Huron Sonsky, Summer, Adam Go, Lisa Villa, Bonnie S., Coco Denrell, Jackie Meadows, Eloise Evans, Allison Urban, Tyler Cardenas, Anna Yeinman, Jennifer Kim, Puthy Lips, Amanda Rodriguez Hawk, Anna Welsh, and Michael Doodle. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate it. We are at patreon.com/necronomipod.
Mike, did you say pussy lips?
Pussy lips.
Just clarifying. Thank you.
It was like half Mike Tyson. I wanted that pussy lips, but it was not. The name was Pussy Lips.
Welcome aboard, pussy lips.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. I guess that's a thing now. Pussy lips. So, all right. Well, we appreciate it. That was a shorter Patreon list. We better step our game up. That was not as long as usual. I'm gonna have to gain some more for this month. Ian, what do you got?
I only have one iTunes one tonight for Jess V. Thank you for the awesome review. It was a really nice one too. Said she like the podcast she's always dreamed of.
Oh,
well, how about that?
Talked about being glad that we haven't changed and bring in a lot of politics and stuff like that, because when people get big, they use that platform to.
Oh, so you make us like fucking do Jeffrey Epstein next week, 2 weeks. Goddamn, pal.
Just drop that spoiler.
It's true, I did.
nice.
We'll see how many people
we've already released it on for patrons.
Mm-hmm. We'll see how many people listen to the end of the episode, though.
Yeah, people chit chat.
Jeffrey Epstein, never heard of that motherfucker.
That's someone who goes down with the ship is Bill Clinton.
Well, I think we know that already. Anyways, all right. Well, maybe that's coming up soon. Maybe not. Maybe I just made that up. But okay. Well, yeah. We don't really apologize for stuff. We try not to be overly offensive. And if we are, whatever. It's by accident.
Yeah, of course. No malice.
Of course not.
It's all joking around, right?
Yeah.
And we haven't changed.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever changed since we started. We're pretty much the same show. The same shit show we were back day one is the same shit show we are now.
We just have better quality board.
That's literally it. That's literally it.
A little bit better microphones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All thanks to the listeners for being patrons and supporting our sponsors and buying our merchandise and all that. Dave, you got anything else?
Nah, I got nothing.
That is it. All right. Swig of beer.
Whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
Pumps me up every time. Fucking love it. I got to go find that actual promo and listen to the whole thing. We are on patreon.com/necronomipod. Our merchandise is amazon.com. Search Necronomipod. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Reddit, Necronomipod. Go check that all out. You can go back and read Ian's AMA. That's all still, because it's all posted up there, right?
Yeah, the first one is too.
So it's almost just like a chat room, like forum type thing, and people can go back and click what other people have said in the past. And
yeah.
Are you going to check like indefinitely? Maybe if alien abducted fuckboy had a question like the next couple of days, will you be responding?
I might take a look. We'll see.
Wow, there we go. Maybe alien abducted fuckboy should start his own thread.
Yes, that'd be good.
Maybe he will.
Share your alien abduction stories here with me. Here's mine.
Fuckboy spelled with an I.
Well, is there any other way to spell fuckboy?
It was so ridiculous.
I could have did FUCCC
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so we're on all the socials at Necronomipod. YouTube, we said all that. Amazon.com, search Necro. And Patreon.com/Necronomipod. That's Ivan Milat. Okay. See you next week.
All right, you guys ready for a cool down beer?
Cheers.